Everybody, we are back. It is Safety Online's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite is everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it, hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it, leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasups.com, TDL, discount code for 35% off. All right. So enough free agency, guys. We're back to the draft. Free agency kind of died down. The Raiders are re-signing some players right now, but nothing splashy has happened. Oh, yeah. Hey, Harrison Bryant breakdown is coming. Really nothing else going on. John Jenkins and Adam Butler were re-signed, which is kind of brings the depth back to the defense tackle rooms. We got Wilkins, you got Butler, and you have John Jenkins. So it kind of tells us what they think of Byron Young. A little bit, right? A little bit.
I mean, I don't know, but it could be that, or it could be these guys are, I guess, 1-year deals. So I think they could still draft one in the second round. You know what I mean? But yeah, I guess they don't. Are you sorry, I'm way off. I was thinking when you said Byron Young, I pulled a reverse U, and I thought you were talking about Byron Murphy. I'm like, now it makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, now I see what you're saying. Now let's back up. Let's start this whole thing over at this point. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously, they told us what they thought about him last year by benching him basically after Antonio Pierce took over. So
yeah,
that was a pretty good sign from the get go. I mean, I feel like they kind of had to bring those two back because, again, defensive tackle market was drying up and they needed bodies to fill the position. I think we talked about it last time after Wilkins got signed. They still needed that nose tackle in the middle, which John Jenkins is. And you look at the other guys that are available, there's not really Sebastian Joseph Day, who's not quite a nose. Jonathan Hankins, maybe he returns. He's still available, but there's not a ton available. The draft class, there's only 2 notable ones that come to mind: Devondre Sweat and McKinley Jackson. I mean, a 1-year, $33.25 million deal, I think it is. It's being reported for Jenkins. I don't think takes Sweat off the table on day 2, especially for someone who can fill that role for longer. So yeah.
So Tyler Davis is known as a nose tackle. What did you think of Tyler Davis? Because I took him in the mock draft the other day, but they say he's a nose tackle, but he's only 300 pounds. So what were your thoughts on him?
He's a nose tackle.
Lance Zierlein.
Zierlein said he's okay. Lance is doing this a little bit longer than me. Has a little more sources. I mean, I don't really think he's a nose tackle because to me, Tyler Davis is one of his biggest strengths is his quickness. And he's he's kind of I don't even know if I'd say he's built like a nose. He's kind of that squatty body type. That's one of the biggest things is he's undersized for what he if it's part of his problem, but he's quick and can wreak havoc. I think he had a pretty good week at the Senior Bowl, kind of using his quickness and all that stuff. So I kind of view him as a little bit more of a 3 technique than a nose tackle. But
interesting.
Yeah. Because he's only he's legit 300. Yeah, and I mean Jackson's 330, Sweat's 365 question mark.
Yeah, I mean that's a Raiders fan favorite because they're upset I didn't take Sweat. They're like, why didn't you take Sweat? I'm like, I don't know if he's kind of lazy, so I don't know how it's gonna go, but we're interested to see how that goes. So Justin Fields got traded, so he's kind of out of it for the Raiders here. Matt's got a phone call there, but sorry. We're good. Yeah, you get. But Justin Fields got traded, so that's kind of out of the deal for the Raiders. Then the Vikings getting all these draft picks. I mean, the quarterback's kind of looking a little iffy for the Raiders. What are your thoughts on that, Matt?
I'd rather not roll into the season with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell as the only 2 options, but I feel like that's getting close to happening. I would like to at least throw Penix or Nix into that mix. I mean, again, I haven't been the biggest Nix supporter of the last couple months, but just to get someone else in there at some point with that either the 13th overall or the that second round pick. I mean, 13th, I think both of us are in agreement that that'd probably be rich, but the way this is going down, the way that it looks like JJ McCarthy might be a top 5 or even top 6 pick at this point. at worst, with the Vikings loading up and seemingly trying to make that trade. Like it's looking more and more bleak on the quarterback front. And I mean, Justin Fields getting out of it to me doesn't change anything. I know it changes stuff for Raider fans and people who were hopeful for him, but yeah, it's the wells are drying up right now when it comes to quarterback, and the Raiders are in a tough spot with that 13th pick and having still 2 or 3 teams that are quarterback needy in front of them, and that after the first 5, so.
Yeah, especially with the Vikings getting those picks. Broncos, who knows what they're going to do. They didn't get Jimmy Garoppolo. He went to the Rams. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with quarterback, man. I don't know, Maybe they might give a 2025 7th for Zach Wilson at this point. Who knows what they're going to do?
Maybe. Is Zach Wilson, are we saying that Zach Wilson is worse or better than Justin Fields at this point?
I mean, I would go Justin Fields because I'm just being fair, but I don't know. Zach Wilson is just interesting. He does have the talent, you know what I mean? But it's just I wouldn't take that chance. Maybe for a 2025 7th, right? Why not?
The old conditional 7th. The old just give him up and hope you get something back for him.
I mean, that's what Fields, man. Fields got traded for a 2025 6th round. Not even this year. 2025.
Well, yeah, it's if it's conditional, it's got to be next year.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we're sitting here. I tried to tell you. Tell everybody.
He did.
Not how the league does not view him worth the 2nd round pick. All that talk was nothing but hot air. Just the Bears trying to pump that out and get something for him, but it's been brutal.
Yeah, they realized, oh man, we're not getting anything. So, all right. So today we are talking draft once again. Of course, we're going to do Quinyon Mitchell, who is somebody the Raiders fans are really looking at. A lot of Raiders fans want him at 13, so we're really at Quinyon Mitchell. And then I'm going to look at 2 running backs that a lot of Raiders fans have been talking about: Tyrone Tracy and Ray Davis. So I'm going to do Ray Davis and Tyrone Tracy, and we're going to kind of dive into those guys a little bit. So, what are your thoughts on Quinyon Mitchell before we get into the film? What were your thoughts on him when you're watching it?
Yeah, so I mean, we were talking about this a little bit before we started recording, but he's a guy that's kind of become a big enigma for me in this whole draft process. Like, I've been basically since the Senior Bowl and since he was a standout, that was my first chance to really watch him, just because Toledo film was hard to come by, and then he killed it out in the Senior Bowl and killed it and crushed it, and stuff became more accessible. Goes to the combine, had a great combine, and his stock's been up for the last 2 months, and then again finally got the chance to flip on the tape. To be honest, was kind of disappointed. Like, I don't really think he has 1st round tape per se from just from what I saw, especially playing in the MAC and wasn't quite as dominant as I would have hoped. He went up against Illinois last year and had an okay game, not great. He seems to kind of fall out of phase quite a bit and has to do a lot of speed turns and whatnot. And we'll go over it in the clips, but a lot of the plays he made were pretty much just him sitting in zone, reading the route, and then driving on it or bailing. That was kind of the simplicity of the scheme over there at Toledo that it seemed to be. But then again, I kind of just go back to it. I'm like, well, he goes to the Senior Bowl, was playing in press coverage and beating guys man on man, competing against guys like Roman Wilson, who we're talking about, some of the better draft wide receiver prospects in this draft class. So it's conflicting. It's tough to know exactly who he is as a prospect. I don't know. I'm definitely not as high on him as I was before I started watching the tape, but he is a guy, like I said, that if you're betting on those last couple months being, more indicative of who he's going to be as a pro, then you take him at 13. But I will say, like, when you turn on the tape, it does not scream top 15 pick at all to me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It doesn't scream top 15 to me either. When you read some reports, a lot of people like to talk about his 2022 season because he had 5 interceptions. He ran 2 of them back. And they say that he wasn't thrown to this year, which you can kind of tell a little bit. A lot of those MAC teams were kind of staying away from him a little bit. But, like Miami, Ohio didn't. They kind of attacked him a little bit. And he was able to got some receptions on him. He's a great tackler, though. Well, it's funny. Like, he's not like, I'm going to get into the pile tackler, but he's like, if I have to tackle you, I'm going to tackle you. So, he's not like Arnold or even, Kool-Aid, who they'll act like they're damn linebackers and put their heads in there. Yeah.
When you're playing for Nick Saban, it's a little bit of a different standard.
I guess so. So, because watching him and Kool-Aid, watching Terrion and Kool-Aid, and then watching Quinyon, it's a little different. So, but yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. So, it's just interesting. So it'd be cool to see the tape that we got there, and then Tyrone Tracy and Ray Davis. I'm a big Tyrone Tracy guy. I really like Tyrone Tracy, pretty high on him, probably higher than him most people, because I just think he is wide receiver convert. He can catch, he can block. He's a great zone runner. Power is a little bit iffy. Running those gap schemes, I'll show that a little bit. But I just think has potential to be an all-around back, and he has no tread on him. Right, that's the thing. He was in an air raid offense this year. They didn't really run the ball that much, so he doesn't have a lot of tread. So that's kind of the good thing about him. Ray Davis is a little different. I think Ray Davis doesn't have like the wiggle that you want to kind of make things happen. He can't create, right? But he has great vision, and he's a crazy blocker. So I mean, he can catch. So he's more of like a third down back at this point, in my opinion. But yeah, we'll dive into the tape of those guys and kind of do a breakdown. But I know a lot of Rays fans are excited about Ray Davis, so I thought check him out a little bit. But let's get into Mitchell first. Mitchell's a first round guy. My guys are like fourth round dudes. So
sounds good. Get into some first round guy who we were just talking about doesn't have first round tape.
We don't decide that, man. We don't decide that, right?
This is true. Very true. Very true. I'm just messing around. All right. So let's dive into this, kind of like what we were talking about a little bit. Not the best tape from Mitchell, but did have a few good reps here against Illinois. Like this one, not going to get targeted here. But what you'll see is this can be a little stop and go from the receiver. And that's the one thing I do like about his game is like I feel like his route recognition is decent, and he has like pretty good movement skills when he knows what he's seeing and he trusts what he's seeing. Like I like the fact that he can drive on the curl and then immediately retreat back and kind of stay on top of that receiver. I believe if we back this up a little bit, we'll see the quarterback start to look that way. Looks that way, want to go to it. Obviously, pressure gets there too and ends up having to scramble. So, again, a guy I think can definitely run, but we'll get into a little bit more of what he does the best, which is kind of sticking in the zone and then driving on routes. You talked about the ball skills and the pass breakups. That's something we're going to see as a constant theme with his tape. Now, this rep too, I think this is going to be cover 3. Yeah, looks like cover 3, maybe some man. But what I like too is to back this up. Like you're going to see him start with inside leverage. And then as this receiver attacks him, use those couple little leverage steps to keep his positioning. And then 2, this is what I'm talking about. When he trusts what he sees, when he recognizes this, what is a slant route or short in, just drives on it quickly and gets there right as the ball does to go knock it out. Get a little bit of a view from the end zone here. Again, that's the other key to his game. He's got to trust what he sees a little bit better and more consistently because he's got good. I think he's got good football IQ. But when he questions himself, he does get himself into some trouble. Yeah, similar rep here. This is kind of what I'm talking about. Like he'll just kind of sit in his little area here, wait for the receiver to come him. Again, nice job not falling for the fake. Gets physical. You'll see a little bit of the ball skills on the back end too. But this is a lot of his reps, just kind of sitting in the zone, trying to make a play on the ball once it does come and reading the route. Again, same type of thing here, playing off. I think this was second and medium, excuse me. Yeah, like 2nd and 6 or so. Playing about 8 yards off, reads the curl, crashes on it. Not a great tackle, but we'll take it. At least hold them up. Sets up a 3rd down situation. Same type of thing here. This time we're going to get the pick, though. But you can see what I'm talking about, right? Like, this is basically what he did, was asked to do at Toledo. Just kind of read the receiver, drive on the curl, and then, use his 10-yard burst or his acceleration to make plays on the ball. And he did it a lot. I will to give him some credit, but
yeah.
Scheme at Toledo was not exactly diverse.
No, not at all.
See again. I mean, this is just over and over again. You kind of get the theme here. Well, I don't think I need to keep breaking this down, but yeah.
Yep. Once again, there it is.
Yep,
sit in the zone to drive.
Sit in the zone. Yeah. Sit in the zone, close on it. So, I mean, play some cover 2 if Patrick Graham wants to wants to go back to a lot of his too high looks that he's done in the past, and I think he even did a lot this past year too. So that's good. This one a little bit different. Get some man coverage on the goal line. Again, you can see the speed a little bit to stick with the receiver. Stays in this hip. I also like how he uses his hands a little bit too. He kind of catches up there and just has great timing, great hand-eye to get those PBUs. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I have the end zone view here. We can see him poke it out a little bit better. But yeah, definitely one of his biggest strengths are his ball skills. Like you said, I think he had 20 PBUs last year and 5 picks. And then this year, he didn't have the picks, but I think that the pick we saw was maybe his only one, or his one of 2, but still had like some crazy, insane amount of PBUs again. Just sitting here, drive on it over and over again. Fall a little bit behind too, but to help him out. But yeah, this is basically his game, or at least his game on tape. Again, at the Senior Bowl, he lined up in press. And did a lot more that I think was more encouraging than what he showed this past year at Toledo. But this is kind of what we're talking about when we say, like, you just watch his tape. It's not like, I mean, he's got good ball skills. And again, we know he can drive on it, but it's not overly impressive where he's, lining up in press and jamming guys at the line or anything like that. He just kind of wants to sit in his area and drive on the ball. This is our last clip here.
Yeah, and usually his transitions are better when he's just kind of doing little side steps type of things. And kind of just not really in a back pedal, because I mean you didn't show some of the clips against Illinois where he was I felt like he was getting worked a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I kept them all like I don't think I usually kind of like just showing highlighting the positive and whatnot. But yeah, like that's what I'm talking to. Like he'll get himself turned around. Like he might overplay his leverage, or if he doesn't trust the route he sees, like he'll fall out of phase and he has to speed turn, and he's okay at it. He can do it quickly, but I feel like a lot of times he was giving up, extra yards for NFL quarterbacks that throw with anticipation are going to be able to hit those guys for completions and whatnot.
Yeah, because I mean, even the way they're played, you're not going to play that in the NFL. He's not going to play that way in the NFL. So that's the thing. You are kind of, kind of projecting him, and he did have a good Senior Bowl out there, but he did face like Roman Wilson. That was his group, but that wide receiver group wasn't as good as like having Purcell and McConkey on the other side. Kind of see how he can handle those guys, but he did do a good job at the Senior Bowl and kind of showed a little bit more than that. But that was my thing, is like you're playing off like that. They're playing some cover 0. It was either cover 4, cover 0 mostly. You show 1 cover 3 rep, but yeah, doing that little side step leverage. I mean, how much do you do that in the NFL? You know what I mean? Like it's pretty rare that you see guys move like that, and because there's times where I feel like he has some a little bit of stiff hips, but yeah, I think he can. Yeah, I mean, he has that. He's super athletic, so I'm not gonna get too crazy there, but he definitely has some instances where he can mess up a little bit there. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's the thing. Like he tested well, so he's got the athleticism to play in different schemes. It's just we haven't seen it, so it's harder to project that and harder to like put the stamp on him. Like, hey, this guy should be the guy at number 13 when the tape just isn't that impressive. And it's not necessarily his fault. Again, it was not a great scheme that really highlights this thing. And that's kind of what you have to do when you're in the MAC and you normally don't have a talent that's going to be a first-round cornerback. Like I couldn't tell you the last guy to come out of Toledo that was anywhere close to being in the first round or even a day 2 pick. So, it makes sense, but it was just kind of like, man, this is pretty underwhelming for a guy that I've been really high on for the last 2 months.
Yeah, it was. Don't forget Kareem Hunt, man. Kareem Hunt, Toledo.
There you go. He was like a 7th round pick, right? Or was he under?
I don't know. I think he was like third or fourth or something.
Was he third? Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, not on defense at least.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Right. All right. Let's get to these running backs. Let's get to the offensive side of the ball. Get some. We got Zamir White, but just in case Zamir White wants to turn to Alex Madison, we might get I need a running back. it can happen. You never know. All right, so let's start with Tyrone Tracy, who I would say is a outside zone specialist. He is really good at outside zone. We'll see some of the vision that he displays. He always picks the right hole. I really haven't seen too many guys who are like this coming out that always pick the right place to go. but he does it every single time. So we'll start off with this first run here. All right, see here, see the kind of push the outside. Then he has the vision to kind of see that, push it, cut back inside, make a guy miss. There's a lot of things he does in the film. He can make guys miss like crazy. He's so smooth. And out of his motion here. So, because even if you read this right, I mean, it's kind of where you want to go with this outside zone, kind of press this.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got to make that guy miss. I mean, because this guy's on the ground. I mean, if he was on the floor, maybe it'd be different. Yeah, it's just nasty moves here. And if you're a Newton fan, don't watch this film.
I was gonna say this is not a good rep for Jerzon here.
Don't just ignore it. Just ignore the film if you're a Newton fan. It's not gonna look very good here. All right, so here's another one here. I mean, it's all out of shotgun, but it's still outside zone runs. Here's another one. Finds that cutback right away. And he just gets skinny there. It makes the guy miss, spin. This is nasty. He reminds me of Aaron Foster a lot. This is how he runs zone, right? So you see it kind of just slip and then make guy miss right there in the hole. Spin through it. Get 16. Yeah, man, it's pretty impressive. And you see how quick he saw the cutback too, right? Because you see right here. I mean, I guess he probably could have pressed this a little bit over here, maybe, but he sees the hole, sees where the cutback is. And like I said, don't watch it if you want to be a fan of Newton. Don't watch this film. And then I don't think he's on the field. Oh, there he is. I think he's right there. But sorry, guys. All right. All right, next one here. This is against Wisconsin. So more outside zone. This one, he's just going to be decisive, right? He's just not even going to try to find a cutback. He just go right to, I forgot what they call this. It's bounds cutback. I forgot what they call this one, but you see him get a touchdown here, make another guy miss right in the end zone. See the balance he has and the burst. See just how quickly his burst is. He ran a 4.48, but his 10-yard split was a 1.53. So that kind of shows how quick his upfield burst and how quickly he can accelerate to top speed, which is what you really love in a running back. If you could accelerate really quickly, you can get to that hole so quick. Reads it, decisive, make a guy miss an open field, touchdown.
What I noticed too is like if you back up a little bit, so on like the 2 ones where he committed early and didn't really press the line, I feel like he's reading it because he knows he's reading like where the linebacker sees there's no one to press to, right? Because normally when you press the line, you're trying to get those linebackers to flow hard. But when he doesn't have anybody to flow, that's when he knows how he can be decisive. So he has that like instinct or intellect to know when he has to and when he doesn't have to press the line.
Which is crazy because he's a wide receiver. That's what's kind of crazy to watch this a little bit. I mean,
that is nuts.
he's not he didn't play running back until like college. So see right here, another one, kind of press it and then find the cutback, get skinny through it, make another guy miss. Get some yards there. So he's so good at this outside zone run. So nothing's there. You see that, but he realized the cutback is going to open up. Backside, finds it, gets skinny through it. That hole.
He presses there because they have the linebacker that's a hold. So number 8 right there. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Let the linebacker, let the O lineman get up there. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, man. He does this so damn well. It's just over and over and over again with these outside zone runs here. So let's see this one. This little counter run on this one, but I really like how he gets patient here on this one. Lets the kind of blocks develop. He isn't the greatest gap runner. We'll kind of get there a little bit later, but you see here he's very decisive on this one. Counter right there. You can see him get in the open field. I mean, he's just a good natural runner. That's what I like. See here one more time. This time he finds the hole here on the counter. So I like this vision here. So he gets the
54 pursues and you read it.
Yep. Boom. Make a miss. Make another guy miss. And all of a score touchdown.
Dude,
so that go ahead, Matt.
This is legit.
I know. I know, bro. I know, man. He's damn good.
That's what his lateral movement skills are. My God,
man. Is it? It was pretty shocking to watch. I was shocked. It was like, why is nobody talking about this guy? So can you see here a little bit with the little issues with gap because he likes to bounce it. He's kind of like Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is a natural zone guy, right? And that's what they do. They don't have the patience here. Sometimes, maybe he felt like he could outrun this linebacker here, maybe, but it's not going to work. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can make guys miss in open field, but you just want to hit that hole and kind of just get skinny there and get in that hole right there. And then you see a little bit here on this one. Last time he was able to set it up and hit the hole, but kind of here he gets a little bit stubborn and kind of just falls here. Just kind of gets into a dead end when he could have hit this hole like he did last time. Still kind of power through, get 5 yards there. He finds it late because it's just, like I said, I mean, they were just kicking Illinois' line's ass. They're just kicking their ass all day. And they're not getting any push at all from anybody. So he had time to get back there. But if let's say they were getting some push, yeah, this would be a tackle for loss. So with gap, it's a little different. But with zone, man, it's pretty damn good. And then he could block too, man. He's a good blocker. You see him pick up this blitz right here. Bam. Gets the drive in his legs, get the quarterback a time to throw a touchdown. Yeah, so he could block too. Right here. Get in it. Boom. Nice little fit there. This is a wide receiver, bro. That's what I think. He's a wide receiver. This one against Wisconsin, he picks up this blitz very well. So you got a blitz right here, free runner. I don't know what 75 is doing here. So I mean,
he's good.
He's good. He's the right thing. Okay, all right. I just make sure. Yeah, but this is a great block. Yeah, big on big, right? So great block here, right? And you drive him to the ground. This quarterback just kind of just move and adjust a little bit. I mean, the quarterback has to move a little bit, but I mean, when you have a running back with a linebacker one-on-one like this, and he can make this kind of block like this, and even get that kind of movement where he's getting that guy on the ground, it's kind of a pancake. So I mean, he does really well there with some of these things. So let's get this. Watch him catch the football here too. So he has great hands, and they didn't throw the ball to him that many times, but I could tell like you could probably run some serious routes with him because he's a wide receiver. Because look at some of these catches in traffic. So that's pure hands catch right there, all hands, and then he gets hit right, and a lot of running backs would drop that. So and they don't have the hands like he does, right? So he could block. He's got good hands too, pure hands catch. A little outside of him. Kind of gets ran down here, and then here's another catch in traffic, which I really like because this is what I'm talking about. A lot of running backs, this is a pick because boom, the ball's in the air right to this guy, but he's able to catch it, hold on to it right through traffic, catch it in traffic right there through the hit, and it does a good job there. So, all right, so let's get into Ray Davis now. All right, so Ray Davis is a little bit different than him. I feel like he's more of a gap runner, right? But there are some good elements to Ray Davis here. So we see here, I believe this is split inside zone. If I'm looking at it, no, this looks like split right there, split zone. But there's true strong side. Was that split duo? Is that what that is? I don't even want to worry about that.
Cross lead with the duo, I guess.
Yeah. But this is kind of see his athleticism here. He's able to jump over this guy and then cut very quickly and get to the outside. All right, so he has great vision. He does have excellent vision. He's able to find holes. He's a tough runner too. He's always keeping his legs moving. You see it on this one too. I mean, there's no way that he should get any yards on this, but he finds a way. See, he kind of gets away from 19 here. Right, and he's able to get back inside. Right, spin off these two. And then end up getting like 8 or 7 out of that. So there's literally no way he should be able to do this, right? He just doesn't do this consistently enough on film, which we'll see a little bit later. But that was just a great run right there. So here he is again against Clemson again. You're gonna watch him get outside on this one, on the power run. I like on this one because this is a little bit of split inside zone again, or a split duo, because there's a strong side. But you see how quickly he figured out where to go outside. He read that really quickly. So I'll go back.
haven't seen split duo that much in the NFL. This is interesting to me. But
I mean,
go ahead, man. What do you say?
I was gonna say it's not technically a split if he's calling play side. I think it'd be lead, but yeah, it's not a common one in the NFL yet.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it much.
Yeah, you see how quickly he sees it though. Yeah, that's Wiggins number 2.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
Easy stiff arm on Wiggins.
He's not Terry Arnold tackles. All right. And one thing I really love about him though is he has a nose for the end zone. When it's inside, when it's short yardage, he's so patient because he's such a good gap runner. See the patience he has here. He's able to wait for that hole to open up, then burst right through a touchdown.
Did he go with the hezzy, like no look here, like the?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought no, my bad. I was 30. I don't know what he was doing. I thought he like tried to like look him off.
Like, a little bit, because you see, because he gets 30 to go this way because 30's in the hole, then he gets him to boom go that way, and then go right through it. I'm telling you, he has a nose for the end zone, touchdown.
Nice move.
You see it once again on this side. This is a different play here, right? And there it is. But you see the patience. He just waits for that hole to open up, and then he's just powerful and just get in that end zone. So it's a little quick there, but boom, patience, get that opening, get in that end zone, touchdown. Yeah, but one thing that kind of I wanted to highlight is that he just doesn't make guys miss when you want him to. Like, so right here, you get a 1-on-1. And of course, like I said, these Alabama corners can tackle. This is Kool-Aid right here. He just makes an easy tackle on him. Right. But you kind of want him to make this corner miss. Like, that's what you want from a running back. If you're going to take him in the 4th round or even the 3rd round or anything like that, you want him to be able to make Kool-Aid miss. This is a great tackle by Kool-Aid. But yeah, you want Ray Davis to kind of be able to beat him there. Here he is in the Wildcat. I guess they're going to try to do some running right here. But you see here, once again, the guy gets his hands on him, barely gets anything on him, and he's able to still pull him down.
Yeah, Barrett Carter's not that strong either.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's not like it's weird because you saw that one play he's kind of driving and he's able to kind of make those plays, but it's just not consistent. He's a little bit easy to take down in the open field. He just have a lot of wiggle to him to make players miss. You'll see it on this one. Like this is a good run because he's patient, right? He allows the blocks to develop. He's able to burst through the hole, and it's gonna just be him and number 4, right? But number 4 just takes him down. Super easy. So you see that it's just him and number 4 in the hole. Boom. He does a good job of letting it all develop. The hole opens up. He hits it. It's him and number 4, but he's tackled. All right. But it's consistent like that. But one thing that Davis does so well, man, is you thought Tracy could block. This dude is like theoretic. So seriously, because you watch him and he's such a smart player. You see before, right? He's pointing out number 1. So he's like, I got number 1. You see him point right there. He knows he's got number 1. He's helping Devin Leary out a lot here. And this is why I say if you do draft him, he could be your 3rd down back day 1. Right? That's what he could do. He's just coming there and he's gonna block. And he's gonna catch the football. He can run routes. And you see him just even go inside and still come back out here, pick it up. Boom! Look, he does that, dude. You know what I mean? Like this is he can block, man. Boom! Right there. Watch one more time, man. So you point the guy out. Make sure you got it inside. Come back out. Boom! Right there. Picking up the linebacker. I don't know if it's a safety and linebacker. They all kind of look the same in college at this point. Once again, then he's picking up a linebacker here on this blitz. See, even they try to do a little stunt on him, right? And you kind of see him kind of get mixed up, but he does a good job of staying right there. And he gets lower than him. Boom. Gives him enough time. They end up knocking it down and picking it, but that's more on the quarterback than him, in my opinion. It's still a good block.
Yeah.
I don't know. Quarterback just didn't know what he was doing there. That's why he's Devin Leary. He's not getting drafted, probably. All right. See him here. once again, and then even off the play action, he's able to find the blitzer. He knows exactly where the blitzer's coming from. He knows where everything's going. You probably could even see him looking at it right before he gets there. Boom, finds him, locks him up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where some of these throws is going. Here, Marcus messing this up. Here we go. You get a choice route right there, so you can run some routes too. Just one more time here. Then get another one, gets another route. So you could just a nice little check down guy, right? Get some he's good hands. I'm talking about he can't really make guys miss, but he is a little check down guy. He can, make some of those plays. Then you see him on the choice route again. So yeah, so third down back, he's ready to go, right? Ray Davis. It's just a little bit more with Tracy, and Tracy's just more all around player in my opinion. So, but yeah. So there's Ray Davis, Tyrone Tracy. Tracy is legit. I got him as my running back 5 actually. So
that was pretty damn impressive. I mean, just seeing him run the outside zone. When you were showing it, I'm like, obviously, like I love it if the Raiders picked him up, but I feel like he belongs in a Kyle Shanahan offense. Like just running outside zone all day. Like it's like would the Raiders rob the football world of that? Because that was some damn impressive tape of him, and his lateral movement was really stout. He's like almost the anti-Zamir White, the exact opposite.
Yeah,
so could complement each other really well.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And it caught me off guard, because Lance Zierlein had him as a top 5 back, and I was like, "Who's Tyrone Tracy? Why is he so high rated?" And I was like, "Oh, that's why. That makes sense." So, yeah, he's just so fluid, and the way he makes guys miss in the open field too is I think he forced like almost 50 missed tackles last year, and he's only had like 140 carries, man. So it's not like he's just getting the ball a lot over and over again. He averaged 6.3 yards per attempt, but he did miss a couple games. I think he has a little bit of an injury history to him, so that's why I think he has a chance to be there in the 4th round. But he's a good player. Ray Davis is kind of just I don't know. I feel like with him, it's more about you need to have a good offensive line for him to be super effective.
Gotcha.
Right? If you don't have a good offensive line, he's not gonna be the best runner in the world. But he could block, he can catch, so he's more of that third down back type of player, in my opinion. That you can maybe and you're in shotgun, it's 3rd and 4, he can get you those 4 yards or something like that. But it's not as much of a every down back for me right now in the NFL. But we'll see. I could be wrong there, but I just don't see it that much. So yeah, man. Well, that's it, man. That's all we got today. Any other thoughts, Matt? Anything?
Not much, man. We're just kind of riding it out for free agency, and then draft gonna pick back up here in probably end next week, I'd say, or end of this coming week, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I don't know much free agency there really is.
Yeah.
They need a corner. They need a corner. So, they need a veteran at least, or something, man, or something like that.
Who are they going to pick up?
They got Howard. Xavier Howard's out there.
Oh, that's right. He's still. I honestly forgot he was still in the league. I feel like he's been on the down for a while, but I guess Stephon Gilmore's still available if they wanted to get.
Adoree Jackson has the ties to. No, he doesn't have it. Does he? He might have played around a year, maybe.
Yeah. I think they might have. I don't know, but I'm not really not a big Adoree Jackson
either. Yeah. So, but those are just some options, veteran options. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, we'll see what they do. But I do like his running back class is pretty interesting, but we'll see what they do there too. But Quinyon Mitchell or these corners. I like Kool-Aid, man. I don't know why Kool-Aid gets so much hate. I was watching this film today. I kind of like him. I like Kool-Aid.
It's been a minute since I watched him, but I remember liking him a lot over the summer. So I feel like, is he still a 1st round guy that a lot of people, or is he bumped down to the 2nd?
No. People are bumping him down to the 2nd round. So but I like this film. I thought he's very fluid in his hips, and he tackles and he doesn't get beat a lot. He does do this thing where he trusts his safety a little bit too much. Like, what if the safety's not there, Kool-Aid? You're beat.
Yeah,
I know that you
undercut the route and whatnot.
Yeah. But it's like he's trying to bait the quarterback to throw it. But yeah, but we'll see how that goes, man. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. A little breakdowns of those rookies, not rookie, soon to be rookies in the NFL draft prospects, Quinyon Mitchell and Tyrone Tracy and Ray Davis. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. We're out of here. Peace.
Yeah.